which is the sharing of best practices by the state conveners of INTACH. We would also be releasing the young INTACH in all our beautiful languages very soon. The only thing is they all need to be back for us to do it. We will start with the introduction to conveners. So I'll request Major General Gupta, Chairman of INTACH, who is the moderator too for this session. So, sir, I request you to give the introduction to the conveners.
I think this is the first time that we are having a direct interaction with the conveners in INTACH with the chairman. In the past, we have had gathering of conveners on various occasions, but this time it's a different kind of gathering, which is to, as I said at the time of inauguration, it is to know what we, how that we have reached a journey, a certain stage of journey. How do we take learnings from this journey, and how do we go forward from this? Before I invite the state conveners to speak and other conveners to give their views, I want to state, I wish to put across to you certain learnings which I have imbibed along with you to take this institution forward. The first learning which has taken us forward is this selfless contribution by all of us. That is what has made the difference to this institution, because most of us has contributed selflessly to the working or in the chapters and at the central office. I have also seen that most of the chapters have protected the corpus, which has been given to them, which the membership fees of the members of that chapter. Now, it is a very good thing to protect this corpus, because I have seen chapters dying without some financial strength. And one of the measures that was taken to strengthen this chapter was to let the membership fees remain with the chapters. Whatever interest is earned or income is earned, use that income, but don't waste away that corpus which the members have given it to us. That's another learning. So my request is that we should continue to protect this corpus. There's another learning which we have taken is to remain in touch with each other, to remain in touch with your state conveners, to remain in touch with the chapters division, to express your requirements with the reasons, so that we are able to cut the cloth, we are able to cut the coat as per the cloth available. Now, you're aware that this cloth has expanded in the last 12 years to nearly 156 crore rupees from 5.9 crore rupees in 2009. However, with the fall in the rates of interest over this income from the corpus, which has reduced our income by 30%, and also the chapter network has expanded, making for more basic expenditure. So even this increased corpus is not able to give us enough income to sustain, to meet all the demands of all the chapters. So, as I keep on saying, when I meet the conveners during the capacity building courses, and the members during the capacity building courses, is that it is very important that to start a project, starting a project is most difficult. And so the first rupee for the project is provided by the central office. Once you start the project, a lot of help comes in locally from the district administrations with the people who are associated with it. And you saw the example of the Kagzi project which Shri Bogleji presented. And, it just comes, so starting a project, and that first rupee for that project is given by the central office. That is, you're making an infinite progress. So please remember that. Now, one of the very important lessons that has come out from this presentation, that heritage is local. Each chapter has got diversity of heritage. So let it be our focus. What is the diversity of heritage in the chapter? To recognize that diversity is very important. We just look at one aspect of the activities, but we don't look at the entirety of the heritage which is in our chapters, which is important that we to look at. And therefore, we had asked all chapters to prepare a chapter profile. And in the chapter profile, once you prepare a chapter profile as per the instructions which have been given, are the enormity of the work which is required to be done in each chapter becomes evident. I know we can't do everything. Let's do one thing at a time, and take it forward. It's important. We also need to become, as I said, the entire range of the diversity of heritage, whether it's in the rural areas, whether it's in urban areas, whether it's in the rivers, water bodies, forests, trees, everything we need to do. The other very a thing of which I'm very proud is the participation of the chapters in our HEX division programs, which Purmaji is presiding over, and I compliment all the chapters. So all the chapters which are not making use of the programs which are fully funded from the central office, please do make demands on this division, and because their programs are for the next generation. The point that which came out in the presentations, that we owe this debt to our future generations, that we make them aware of our heritage. So it's important that we make use of activities of our HEX division. We make use of our INTACH Heritage Academy, which is running a lot of programs. A program which is being run again by our AS division in the listing and documentation. So all these things we need to make use of if we want to protect the heritage in our chapters. You have already heard how the projects for revival of local crafts, various other medicinal plants or various other things, you have just heard about it. So you have to think about them and take them forward. Another key point is that we need to connect with the local administration. It is important we connect with the local administration, and one of the ways to connect with the local administration is by volunteering to update the district gazetteers. You know, the gazetteers is a very important document in each district, because most of these gazetteers have some mention of heritage, but they're not updated with the heritage. What is the heritage? The water bodies, the sacred groves, trees, you name it, that heritage is not in the gazetteers. So if we help and update the local gazetteers, you will earn the trust of the local administration, and you will get a lot of help and work in doing the work in your chapters. So it's very, very important that we connect, rather than to connect to connect with the politicians or ministers. It is better to connect with the local collector, with the district administration. You will find all kinds of good people to help you in that, because they are all interested in that. And one of the shortcomings that I find, जो मुझे लगता है कि most of us कि हम अपनी emails नहीं पढ़ते हैं जो chapter division से जाती है, तो कभी कभी फ़ोन करते हैं, कहते हैं हमें पता ही नहीं है कि क्या कहा है, क्या नहीं कहा है. So please, at least once in 2 days, 3 days, do read your emails which are going which come to the chapter, उनको पढ़ोगे, देखोगे, समझोगे और क्वेश्चन करोगे चैप्टर डिवीजन से, तो ये बहुत अच्छा रहेगा। और दूसरा बात मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूँ कि एक बहुत मिसलीडिंग स्टेटमेंट्स की जाती हैं बहुत लोगों से। तो जस्ट डोंट बिलीव व्हाट यू हियर और somebody tells you. Verify its truth. It is important because this is an age of social media और वहाँ पे तरह तरह के स्टेटमेंट, तरह तरह के क्लेम्स किए जाते हैं। तो इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट दैट वी वेरीफाई, वी नो व्हाट इज द एक्चुअल ट्रूथ, बिकॉज जब तक आपको सच नहीं पता लगेगा, आप सीधे राह पे नहीं चल सकोगे। It is important that we always search for the truth while working in our chapters. मैं इसके बाद में आपका कुछ ध्यान दिलाना चाहता हूँ। कुछ हमने अमेंडमेंट्स किए हैं अपने इंटैक के मेमोरेंडम ऑफ एसोसिएशन, दैट बुक। सबसे पहले तो जो हमने चेंज किया है, एक फैमिली से सिर्फ एक ही मेंबर गवर्निंग काउंसिल का मेंबर बन सकता है। एक फैमिली से 3 या 4 या 2 या 3 मेंबर नहीं गवर्निंग काउंसिल के मेंबर बन सकते हैं। इसीलिए हमने एक और नया चैप्टर गाइडलाइंस में अमेंडमेंट किया है, और ये भी एमओ में लिखा गया है कि चैप्टर एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी में एक फैमिली का एक ही मेंबर होगा, 2 मेंबर नहीं होंगे। अगर किसी चैप्टर में किसी ज़रूरत है तो उसकी सेंट्रल ऑफिस से राइटिंग में परमिशन लीजिए, व्हाट आर द सर्कमस्टांसेस। हम अगर चैप्टर एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी में ज़रूरत पड़ती है, किसी दफ़ा कोई सिचुएशन आ जाती है, तो उसके लिए आप चैप्टर डिवीज़न को हमेशा उसके बारे में खबर रखने की बड़ी ज़रूरत है। हमने एक ये भी अमेंडमेंट किया है कि एक फॉरेन नेशनल कैन नॉट बिकम a convener or a member of governing council or chairman of INTAC, because a lot of overseas members are there in INTAC. So as a precaution, this amendment has been made. Next, I come to one very important point to you, is the composition of the governing council. जो गवर्निंग काउंसिल की कंपोजिशन थी वो 1984 में जब इंटैक बनी थी उस टाइम पे डिसाइड हुई थी, और उस टाइम पे जैसे हर एक मेंबरशिप कैटेगरीज को कुछ वैकेंसीज दी गई थी, और उस टाइम पे जो भी पूरी वोटिंग होती थी सब दिल्ली में आते थे और फिजिकली वोटिंग करते थे। ये सिस्टम 1998 में वो चेंज हो गया है, जिससे कि हमने by ballot now there's a proper all India voting which is being done very एक ट्रांसपेरेंट सिस्टम से three envelope system has been instituted, which is absolutely transparent, where the ballot is your secret. अब इस सिस्टम से और सोशल मीडिया के प्रचार से एक मैंने देखा है, जो गवर्निंग काउंसिल की कंपोजिशन जो भी बन रही है, किसी एक स्टेट से तो 3-3, 4-4 मेंबर इलेक्ट हो रहे हैं, और किसी स्टेट से कोई मेंबर नहीं इलेक्ट हो रहा है। और बड़ी बड़ी स्टेट्स हैं, जैसे यूपी है, केरला है, बिहार है, उड़ीसा है, हिमाचल प्रदेश है, गुजरात है, उत्तराखंड है, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर है, झारखंड है, असम है। मैं देखता हूँ स्टेट से कोई मेंबर ही नहीं इलेक्ट होके जाता है गवर्निंग काउंसिल में। तो गवर्निंग काउंसिल की जो एक कंपोजिशन है वो भी थोड़ी स्क्यूड हो गई है कि इट इज कि आपने कैसे अपना सोशल मीडिया प्रोफाइल बना लिया है और आप गवर्निंग काउंसिल के मेंबर बन जाते हो। तो उसके बारे में भी अभी हमें सोचना है, और एक कमेटी श्री GM कपूर जी के अध्यक्षता में बनाई है कि गवर्निंग काउंसिल की मेंबरशिप की क्या शेप होनी चाहिए। क्या हमें हर एक स्टेट से एक एक मेंबर कलेक्ट करना चाहिए, सिर्फ उसी स्टेट के लोग वोट करें, या देयर आर 6 कंट्रीज डिवाइडेड इनटू 6 रीजन्स, कि रीजन वाइज वैकेंसीज फिक्स कर दी जाएं। तो एक विषय है आपको सोचने के लिए। मैं आपका ध्यान दिलाना चाहता हूं कि हमें ये रिफॉर्म भी करने की ज़रूरत है इंटैक में, जो कि मैंने नोटिस किया है। मैंने कोई अब 27 साल इंटैक में लगाए हैं। मैंने इंटैक नेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बन गया था, और जब हमारे फर्स्ट मेंबर सेक्रेटरी की डेथ हो गई थी, श्री थापर जो कि एएसआई के डीजी भी थे, उसके बाद में इंटैक का मैंने पतन होते हुए भी देखा है, फिर इंटैक को स्टेबलाइज होते हुए भी देखा है, और इंटैक को ऊपर चढ़ते हुए भी देखा है। तो इसलिए मैं ये डायलॉग आपके साथ कर रहा हूँ कि हमें इस चीज़ पे भी ध्यान देना चाहिए कि हमें हमारी गवर्निंग काउंसिल कैसे कॉन्स्टिट्यूट करेगी, कैसे चलेगी। तो इसका भी आपको मैं चाहता हूं जब आप जाएं अपने मेंबर्स के साथ बैठ के डिस्कस करें। ऑन राइटिंग में श्री जीएम कपूर जी को अपने सुझाव भेजें इसके बारे में, ताकि इसके बारे में एक सर्वसम्मति से सबकी सलाह से एक फैसला किया जाए क्या करना है। क्योंकि हमारा काम एक बहुत एक ऐसे तरीके से हो रहा है जिससे कि लोग हमारे पे विश्वास करने लगे हैं, और कुछ सीएसआर फंड्स इंटैक के पास आ रहे हैं। और मैं उसके बारे में ध्यान भी दिलाना चाहता हूं कि हमारे बेंगलोर चैप्टर ने कैसे इतनी बड़ी भारी सीएसआर अट्रैक्ट किया है। बिकॉज कोई उन्होंने अब तक 2.5 करोड़ रुपया सीएसआर टू डू प्रोजेक्ट्स बेंगलोर में करने के लिए अट्रैक्ट किया है। एक बड़ी बड़ी गर्व की बात है ये। और सभी चैप्टर्स अगर इसी तरीके से काम करें और वो करें, तो आई थिंक हमको धन की कमी नहीं रहेगी इस देश में। मैं आपको ये भी ध्यान दिलाना चाहता हूँ कि जितने भी कल्चरल सेट्स हैं हमारे कंट्री में, दे आर लाइंग निग्लेक्टेड। मेनली दे आर हेल्ड बाय द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट एंड द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स ऑल्सो। Their archaeology department, Nazul properties handed over by Raja Maharajas, such grand properties, they are also lying in a neglected state. And especially the forts of India. अब forts of India, पहले तो राजा महाराजा लड़ाई लड़ते थे, फोर्ट्स लिविंग फोर्ट्स थे, वो काम करते थे, पर अब खाली पड़े हैं और वो खंडर बनते जा रहे हैं। एक बड़ी भारी समस्या है। एंड these are very important for 3 reasons which I want to state to you. One is through them to teach the children about our past, a point which was also made by our speaker in the opening lecture. Okay, we should know about our past, and these monuments, these forts, they teach us about our past. And they give us an opportunity to find out about our history, our evolution, our antiquity, which is very important. Now, these places also provide places of interest for people to visit, explore, and things to see and to do. And they encourage tourism, and which will add to our economy. But unfortunately, there's a lot of resistance to rethinking as to what we should do, how we should handle, how they should be managed. तो एक इंटैक एक माध्यम है जिसके बारे में एक ओपिनियन बना सकते हैं कैसे इनको मैनेज किया जाए। बहुत सारे ट्रस्ट हैं, जैसे वैष्णो देवी ट्रस्ट है, इतना ब्यूटीफुली मैनेज हो रहा है, मेंटेन हो रहा है। हम इन सबको मैनेज कर सकते हैं। तो उसके लिए हमें एक एटमॉस्फेयर बनाना है अपने देश में कि हम ये क्रांति लाएं। अगर ये हम क्रांति ला सकते हैं तो हमारे देश में इतना टूरिज्म बढ़ सकता है, हमारी इकोनॉमी का इतना फायदा हो सकता है। And this will also enrich our lives and lifestyle by visiting the examples of country's heritage. To sum up, I would say the object of history is to know and understand the past, for a better appreciation of the present and to peep into the future. So it is important that we also, instead of saying that government is doing nothing, we need to start a debate as to how they should be managed. Because government by itself will not be able to do anything unless and until the people get connected with this debate. And one of the reasons why INTACH was established was that unless and the people, the awareness of heritage comes in the people, the government cannot do anything. So that is one great responsibility on us. मैं दो नए सब्जेक्ट जो कि इंटैक में हमने शुरू किया है उनके बारे में आपका ध्यान दिलाना चाहता हूँ. वन इज द जियोलॉजिकल हेरिटेज ऑफ इंडिया. आई थिंक बहुत सारे कन्वीनर्स इसमें जुड़ गए इस अभियान में. जो थे 6 अक्टूबर को हम इंडिया का जियोलॉजिकल डे सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं. उसके लिए लॉट ऑफ ऑन व्हाट्सएप मैसेजेस एक्स्ट्रा देयर. तो इट इज़ वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट to revive interest in the spectacular visual impact of this heritage. And it's an amazing heritage that we have in this country. And second is to concentrate the coin heritage of India and the stamp heritage of India. So these are the two new subjects which I'm adding for all the chapters to which they need to pay interest. डियर कन्वीनर्स, मैंने कोशिश की है कि मैं कुछ इश्यूज और कंसर्न जो कि हमारी अटेंशन की ज़रूरत है वो आपको हाईलाइट करूं इससे पहले कि हम आगे डिबेट में बढ़ें. मैं ये भी कहना चाहता हूं, नो वन इज एवर परफेक्ट. Our chapter guidelines also need to be updated. Though we had last updated them in 2019, we have updated them in 2013, 16, and 19. And now we need to update them again. Why we need to update them again? Because the income and expenditure laws in the country are now being enforced very rigorously, and there is a lot of change in them. So there is a lot of scrutiny of our INTACH accounts. Whatever little income you have in your chapters, even that income has to be reflected in the central account. तो उसके लिए हमें उसके लिए कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शंस हम चैप्टर्स को इशू कर रहे हैं और उसके बारे में कुछ सुझाव हों, वो सब सुझाव को लेकर ही हम अपनी चैप्टर गाइडलाइंस को अमेंड करेंगे. और मैं आप सबके फीडबैक जो कि हम इंस्ट्रक्शंस आपको भेजेंगे इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के बाद में, मैं उसकी वेट करूंगा कि उनको हम कैसे आगे बढ़ाएं और करें. एंड मेरी आपसे सबसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि हम इनके बारे में सोचें और जो भी सुझाव हैं अपने पक्का भेजें. अगर नहीं भी सुझाव हैं तब भी आप बताइए कि हमारे कोई सुझाव नहीं है, ताकि हम आपके सुझाव का वेट ना करते रहें कि अभी आएगा अभी आएगा. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपके लिए ये मेरा कहने के लिए. अब मैं पूर्णिमा जी से कहूँगा कि हम आगे के अपने स्टेट कन्वीनर्स को सुनें. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, sir. With your tremendous experience as the chairman, you have shared so many points for each one of us, to reflect on and to work on, and to reinforce our commitment for heritage. And for us at the Heritage Education and Communication Service, being a part of the national network is to identify the beauty of our Indian languages. So at the very outset, to share with you is to maximize the outreach of our Young INTACH newsletter and to reach out to rural audiences. We did the language translation and we do it every 2 to 3 years. We thank our chapters for their efforts in translating our newsletters of 3 years from 2019 to 2021. And we are very sure that this is going to go a long way in spreading the message of caring for heritage. I would be inviting our state conveners to release the language translation, which has been done by the local chapter. So we would give it to you, sir, and we'll hand it over to the state convener. So the first is the Assamese translation. So we invite Sheila Bora, ma'am, state convener of the Assam chapter, and the translation was undertaken by the Assam state chapter. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. So we'll take a group photograph with all the beautiful translations. So we'll have everyone together. Next is Marathi. We request Mr. Mukund Bhogle to come. The translation was done by the INTACH Pune chapter. Ma'am, we'll take a group photograph with everyone. Sheila Bora, ma'am, we'll invite everyone, please, on the stage, and we'll take a group photograph with everyone. We'll have everyone together. Tamil is Dr. Suresh, who's done the translation too. Dr. Suresh, the state convener. The Telugu translation, I invite Anuradha Reddy, the co-convener of the Telangana state chapter. The translation was done by the East Godavari chapter, and with the complete support of the late Seshakumari ma'am. The Malayalam translation, I invite Mr. K.J. Sohan, the state convener of Kerala chapter. And the translation was done by the INTACH Palakkad chapter. So Mr. Sohan is here, Mr. KJ Sohan. The Kannada translation was done by us at the headquarters in Delhi. And Dr. Mohan Math, the chapter convener of Dharwar, is here. The Gujarati translation, sir? The Gujarati translation, I invite Mr. Sanjeev Joshi, who is the co-convener of the Gujarat State chapter. The translation was done by the INTACH Ahmedabad chapter. And finally, we are going to release our Khasi translation of our book, Tisang Builds a Root Bridge, which is a book for children, which was done in English, and we did the translation in the Khasi language by Dr. Madeline Tham. Join.
Conveners, I just want to invite attention to this young lady. She's being paid free salary by the Meghalaya government to do the work of INTACH. She's so precious. I mean, you've got amazing people who make up the galaxy of INTACH. Thank you.
So we now invite, thank you, sir, thank you.